Greetings and welcome back to a book named Hindu by Sanyas.Guru, Mukhi BABA. www.Sanyas.Guru or reached by www.Sanyas.live, Sanyas.live. The next chapter we are covering is Not for Others. The topic itself name is Not for Others, from the book named Hindu. Hindu religion, famous for its discoveries, ritual and other ceremonial life across the world. Hindu were supposed to be very criticized and also harassed on table of ritual and practice of occult inside the Roman religion like kriyas, sadhana. The biggest adventure of Hinduism, if you call one, there is none, but there are hundreds of dealing with Deva, Devta and God practices with naming and as well yantric conventions. It could have been in past that ancestors of Hinduism also ate their beloved dead bodies after boiling or roasting over ceremonial ground and came as family of Aghora Tantric. Those families became like one of their kind, and the act of heroism gave them insight Hindu, not for others. When vast population rising and such families rising well across earth, but being part of Hinduism gave a height to Hindu people about people of religion in such practices, which is not so far for everyone. Hindu people have always found magical power from God of heaven, hell, and used them purposely as they can be used and could be used only for purposes like voodoo, magic dolls, black magic, and encrypted text as well. This and these kinds of belief only insulted practices of religion, and in the eye of universal God, let the Hindu just play with themselves. However, part of Hinduism, those are very practical and honest towards God affair and practices. They were honored with stable power, money, wisdom among society and other religions, proving that God understands honesty as well. But still, the topic invokes as not for others. When you find people living alone in the way of community, family planning and tribes, once Hindu minds decide and regularize activity of such belief that this is what Hindu know, even God cannot change, as only power in Hinduism is God. To find politics in religion is like getting somewhere on Dream Island. Even God tried to send message only for Hinduism. But those were turned out and used for world affair and notices to religion of other belief, but the messenger were only trying to release Hinduism from such strict practices, overcoming generation and to enjoy the nature and its gift like Dream Island as gift by God out of thousands of years honesty and belief. But Hindu, they are set into certain mind, those never even need God to come in and buy human general body, but Deva and superficial avatar. They will which any human will, but ideologies ever have been used and bought by Hinduism, but God, the one thought mind, they will never be able to, as the script loaded into Hinduism is also only God acts, and even visibility in those eyes is God, I view from worship of God idols. So God came and celebrated the logic and evidence for its creation, understanding, and which is fair enough. If God won't see himself through nature past and coming, then what Hindu has been doing is not for others. God loves nature and his universal life. What he does not is which is not self. Grow but evolve but live God. Just think topic without Hindu and be left not for others. What I, Sanyasi, see now that Hinduism telling God as truth that the left one, the dead one, are burned and not for others. Might be their super secret that one who first gives the light to the dead body transcends with soul and thus can communicate with power of God and easily live after one's own death. Look at belief other religion awaits for new birth, and Hinduism bring back the soul of dead to home and live with it. When the other one dies with body has already been part of transcend dead soul world and thus easily acquire new birth and live along with people of Hinduism. This way, soul of death creates family of her own even after death and does not cater to believe in search of new beginning. Because the super secret is God had such rituals, and all belonging are superficially haunted by God power of nature. But because burning dead body is authentic and horrified experience, and thus afterlife of people in ceremonies start instantly with dead one in recent, and the body of living one earth could not experience that easily, and thus their Hindu life transcends easily on each death ceremony, and their living life also get experienced slowly as they come to death. But when they will experience after they die is how to use bodies of living one and how to enjoy whatever is possible. So if you can become ghost and spirit while you are living, then you can experience God-like existence and also find what is not for others out of Hinduism. When everyone over earth lives to perform duties for the body to spend each life cycle as healthy and beautifully each day, Hindu people went aloof on certain mind because of their relation with nature and rituals of their ancestors coming forth from generation to generation. Accordingly, every thought and religion is criticized to publicize awareness so that it does not reach higher spirit if it is the thoughts is so surprising in nature, as God always loves the first rose of Rabbi. Hindu kings were only allowed to marry more than one woman, and others were living like all the same, and priests were totally bound to follow practices and scriptures of Hindu life. Such priests had to follow what their religion told them, and so everyone until now got into what their priest told them, and thus came into law-binding nature of modern Indian world. However, Hindus were never bothered about such affairs. God always loved loving what Hindu kings were afraid of ancestors and spirit world, which always affected their relations of life and ruling affairs with other kings. It was not that kings were made fools, but they were also into such ways which are called transcendent life of deads. So out of their peace with their beloved deads, many new devas were born, and their idols were made and worshipped, which were supposed to be taking life in their kingdom. Some believe their ancestors are reborn, and so their name came like first, second, and so on. But such life only went for few thousands of years in Indian history, as God have allowed planet life for longer. Or what happened in Hinduism sometime remain a secret till nobody knows. What Hindu religion became is scripture of thousands of books like Vedas, Gita, Ramayana, and so many different magical stories based on life of devas and avatars living along with India. In the religion, this happened only because priests were financed by kings, and even saints in the jungle were often visited by such ruling powers even to educate their childs. And thus in Indians, Hindu were spread across the wide continent, and many thousands of herbal products and medicines came with the help of people in religion. Those kings were directly God living in Hinduism, watching each moment of life closely while living on earth in human body. Their age were also like 500,000 years, which is a secret itself and shall not be argued in sense of God life, that everyone has right to live longer, and everyone must be a blessed child of God. What earth is passing through, what Sanyasi is writing, is not less than hell, as there is only one king like science, called government for bigger continent like India. The time we are talking about trade with pictorial photograph of one leader that transcendent, and if you have it like father can be wise to live. Hinduism says they can foresee an event and also hold some karma for months and days. This is a secret, however, not for others, and is true and you can be from any religion. Saint of Hinduism can never publicly say that, but since I am in a calm with God, which is superior as well God, your karma writes into universe God of being. Even Hinduism believes all other religions but saying their God science is diverted and which gets more difficult to bring to normal. Otherwise, world event happens to attract people behavior as most of the time primary and secondary and fourth keys are to be made fresh on each event. What Hinduism is talking is not for others, and thus required only for Hinduism for each happening of God, which is also called appearance of God, experienced by others. But because Hinduism practices only through God, our interest in losing interest in Hinduism because of their cremation activity ritual. This is experience of what men and women have into them when God visits their conscious soul, and shall not be anyhow available either technocrats or magical stealing or other hypnotic threats which are nowadays encrypted in different languages. Because Hinduism have allowed other world religions and regions children to study Hinduism, and thus faith and belief being ultimate that they will remain Hindu even after they die. But because pictorial life of human being, Hindu priests even have served other religion children with Hinduism secret of God presence in their religion, which is societal threat for some children of other belief, because Hinduism is a threat of ancestors, and transcendent parents. Their honesty with God only serve religion, even to that Hinduism is not some kind of circus or entertainment club to be safe. If you have read early 2 chapters, you understand God of universe exactly, know who is running the bodies of Hinduism, and thus does not claim any authenticity out of Hindu religion. As logical binding of time as planetary system are also evolved under such religion because of unknown advantages provided by religion superficially in name of devas and transcendent God power. However, people say and believe it to be religion, but in the vision of God and universe, Earth is one planet and there is no requirement for subsidiary religion. However, human efforts over time spent over planets are not just from one religion, and thus God and God descended in universe understand. The era happening in space is said not for the others. Exactly means the behavior of Deva and Devis and other super cosmic power, which were, however, also written under religion Hinduism towards attainment of peace on earth. But when the ultimate power believes ritual cremation even evolved, God and sublime witnesses remain Hindu. Even other religions give a thought to such rituals from far away. The activities of Hinduism, our science, which already have one biggest God-like belief and attitude, thus stand in favor and favor of Hinduism even outside the universal status of planet Earth. But will those direct magic can be holded on Earth as those gifts are out of Earth? Madness. Is there king who can easily penetrate soul and build a surface of ignorance till other happening? There is no more time to cover things out of science as they are only out of God, not for others, they claim. What is life when this kind of subject are alive even before it is publicized, as Sanyasi is believed to be out of God nature and writing in behalf of humanity, which only belongs to earth and not for others? But Hinduism, which is more about their own so-called heavy science of Devloka, if and I am sure is ready, but only of God, nature and product. We do not need Earth lab to construct or even government to know that those vehicles and devas, those will be happy to live along us, are bigger in build and other modes of calculation of human dimension. Because science has been far involved in finding outer space life, but God is also ready to deliver to Earth such life experiences. Only because of Hindu rituals have some real close happening, even in past according to Earth's living period. Hindu people have always figured out the way of communicating with species from universe, and thus time have come as God remember such events of Earth, and thus even human is to live like king, even over such vast dimension. But the sense of fear will lose everything, which is also pictorial God sense of religion either. There is no but all evidence of God presence in Hinduism, not for others. as even if some species come out of no spaceport, which is more likely to be God, but might give you and your eyes heart attack, as you cannot hold such life into your space, but you can easily burst that into air and create Big Bang inside you. So this is not for others, but be ready animals of space. Hindu religions have always tried to explore their own religion and dimension of God presence in life. Because Hindu religion believes in set of instruction on each scripture and is written thoroughly with experience, a view of the living to world for well-being of human. Hindu believe God is present all over the world and universe from biggest to smallest atom, and thus with time happening on this paper is written with God presence, but judgment and relevance might be without reference to time, as God has not slept and never sleeps. Because some people in religion believes after writing all universe happening, then God slept. What did God went to? But God love is about creation and creating, as the whole universe is God. And for God creation and play, but does time exist? Even saying no has play, but such evidence are also to be found as one moment. You do not have time, but when you had time, did time exist? Such topics are never covered in Hinduism, as they are only God play, and what to when someone knows such secret but has to be play with God, therefore not for others. Remember, we are one because one person wrote this, but really Hindu religion brought God on earth out of truth, and such is only God to believe, that they should not have seen truth. God is truth, and when they discovered truth, they saw in eye to eye. God saw tiger, but God is cosmic tiger. Human in Hinduism wish to stand like nature, but it is just childlike rapacity. Even to win earth nature is deadliest place. I am Sanyasi, religious, only about few episodes of Gita and Bhagavad, also believes of saint-like approach of Ramayana. But the time of earth is being more of headache, as people have lost them and their selves are being sent to the universe, which means they do not even need to die, and their selves are like self, which is soul, and thus mean they have died, but just body is left for God play, hence escape in the name of Hinduism. Means to say, do you lose what you owe when you sleep? Does your mind transcend when you sleep and loses all life attraction into something which is either total sleep out of relation to life over earth, or is far more close to God? Hinduism believes when we sleep, we only want to sleep. Thus the soul in us, if leave the body to any world, is biggest reward for anyone from any religion. Even Hindu says death is the biggest gift, as it opens for new, but when the body is dashed, then nothing is new, so it is fake, and not for others. Do not die in sleep, it is just come as fate. There are only logical illusions which cannot be solved, and people get stuck to live there but to nowhere. Then with further no understanding to when the soul will turn back and awake, people purposely kill and then burn out the body. Because Hinduism talks about paralife and thus ghost relation and their pulling power always close to death, like experiences called Rudra. The one who finishes off such existential business does not care like all other God on their duties. So Hindu religion is scientifically developed because of future happening, but is religiously God. Hindu religion have always publicized all content they knew, not hiding or even changing any scripts. However, most dangerous books are only kept under their own category. But only mad researcher experiment to find change of Indian Hindu religion scriptures. Those could have been purposely done. What is not for others and is for Hindu religion is the experience of so many elusive delusions as what you understand but you cannot understand. Your memories are yours, but they are not you, and thus they do not sustain. But what is Hindu religion experiences of temple is that there is constant experience of God over earth and even God play over cosmos. But human mind is not such wild, as it is already consumed to time, being in the era of book being published and vast study material even in the planet. Thus, this happened because other outside world experiences created a wow like experience of state thought of God, cosmic absenteeism. But it's not completely false, but it's false as Hindu or might be God in other religion. When look in sky in night, only see stars, but not other creature. But you look in you and you become God, and if you have such experience, then your illusion trails stars. But exactly there are vast more lifeful incidents over other planets and bigger, but their IV coordinates are only from magical Subrahma. Might be IV is totally rejected unless whole planet altogether feel themselves in Armageddon. But we might be on such eventual IV coordinates and we could see they were flying with their weaker and different colorful God in sky trying to meet us when it is appropriate. The topic says that there are vast secrets in Hinduism, and which is true, but because the God is not only biggest issue, and remember it is issue far bigger play which is required. But why who want to meet and we have a lot of things to see before we actually see and criticize such personality of universe, or even is simply available at each instance you want to remember? Do you get absent when you are called, but still God manages to play all across planets and even talk to you? But what we do is try to overlook and overshadow your intensity and depth of your awareness towards nature. Otherwise, such question never arises in you. Because there are more beliefs in Hinduism, those are only written because of such purposes still lose importance, and the declared subject to have far more involvement in the religion. To declare something a secret is like losing honesty in one nature, but even to left something against nature of love and God. People, those have their world on their experiences, they really believe and just want to end up their misery. But because illusion created or defined by a group of people like religion or company, then how some normal mind will resolve, but only Sanyasi, Sadhu or someone trying more close actively toward God and meeting the space. Hindus say what is not for other is only for who goes for it, but is not for material or Maya, as religion is about God and presence of God, which is for love, out of love, and anything outside this is neglected even by God like that.